Hi, Jim Gordon here with another edition of Pass On the Recipes. Okay, this is new for me. I've been in TV 25 years. I've never actually worked with this woman beside me before, at least on camera. She is a journalist, she's an editor, she is the associate producer on both the shows I do, Travel Guys in Our City Tonight. She does so much more. She's also a great chef, and she's my mom, Florence Gordon. Your son Jim welcomes you. You jumped in because I never had the pleasure of meeting your mom, my grandmother. She passed before I was born, but I feel like I kind of know a bit about her from all the wonderful recipes that you've cooked for me growing up, including one you've got here today.
Yes. Thanks, Jim. No, you didn't know my mom. She was a very talented individual, and she was French. And one of the recipes that she cooked was potato Dauphinoise, and it's to most people, scalloped potatoes, but her recipe has a bit of a twist to it. And it's a favorite that I often like to serve either with roast beef or with pork chops or chicken, never with steaks, because there's nothing nicer than
it's true.
Steak and baked potato and a salad. Anyway, we're going to prepare this.
Okay.
And what I would like you to do for me is I've already sliced up the potatoes to save time on camera, and if you don't mind, just
I gotta work, Mom?
You have to work, right, Jim. I'm sorry, you just don't get to talk here.
Okay.
Anyway, if you don't mind putting them in a circle like that as I started.
Okay.
And I'm going to, I'm melting some butter. And
now, just regular butter, not garlic butter?
No, no, just regular butter. And I'm going to add to it a teaspoon of salt and a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper, and just gonna put a bit of that in for now.
And you've got this on high right now, right, for our viewers watching? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I'm putting in some very finely chopped onions.
Okay.
See.
And this is your mom, my grandmother. This was kind of passed down too, wasn't it?
Yes, my parents were from the East Coast, from Moncton, New Brunswick. And my father was also a great chef. He was a butcher by trade, and Sunday, even back then when men didn't cook, my father used to cook our Sunday dinner.
Nice.
And we would have his roasts were fabulous. He would also, because he was a butcher, he would get beef ribs that were like this.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And again, he was really great. And he could also bake pies and do all that kind of stuff. So I learned how to bake pastries when I was 12 years old. So, yes.
I didn't know that about Grandpa. But...
Yeah, it's not funny. He loved to do interior decorating and renovations as well, but his career was being a butcher. So I'm just browning up these onions a little bit and letting them cook.
So, okay, what are you putting in now?
So this it's salt and pepper, and then just a little bit of flour to thicken it up.
So we just started this. You weren't pre-cooking this on the stove before we started rolling. So you've been about 3 or 4 minutes, which what you usually go to.
Quick,
okay.
Quick.
Helps out.
And the other little container had a little bit of, it did have a little bit, I know you could smell it, the garlic salt and
okay.
And a bit of parsley in it.
Right.
So that's thickening up really nicely.
And this really is what we're doing with this show is getting kids and grandkids and to pass on recipes that they grew up with. So
that's right. This was originally all put together so that seniors could become active and share recipes that were popular.
And you're using regular 2% milk there for people in this gluten-free age.
I am not.
Can you use soy or other types of non-dairy milk?
You can. I'm the type of person that you can use almost whatever you feel is comfortable with. Some people will use actually cream in this, but this particular recipe just calls for milk.
So you had just taken it off the burner there. You wanted to just stir while it wasn't on the burner with the milk.
I don't want it to go messy. So we just keep stirring this until it's nice and smooth. Okay. And for about a minute, and then we'll pour it over top of the potatoes.
Okay. Okay, it's been stored for about a minute or so. What do we do next?
Normally this recipe calls for 6 potatoes. I've only put 3 in this bowl because it's a smaller bowl. So the recipe, as I said, will be posted at the end. So
and I'm going to move that over here, the part that I did. Okay,
And
now we
I'm
pour it on. Okay. And it just obviously seeps right down.
It does. Just give me a minute. Now, also going to add creamed corn.
Oh, creamed corn, another staple of my childhood. Okay.
Yes.
But that hasn't been heated up. You've obviously just kept that separate. Okay.
That'll all cook together in the oven when you put it all in. Baking it.
And we're making use of this last bit here as well.
We are.
Okay.
We're going to pour that, Jim. Just pour
I
that.
can do that. I'm not just a guy who puts potatoes in the bowl. So you've got this all ready then.
Now, just one other thing I want to do is I'm going to slice up a few onion slices. We've got the finely chopped onion, but I like to put
Little one on top, yeah, okay.
and I did wash my hands before I started.
Of course, good.
That will go in the oven for about an hour and a bit.
Okay. Okay, now we're all set, but before it goes in the oven, you've got a few little things you want to do before.
Yeah, as I said, I put a few onion rings on the top.
Right.
And I just like to put a little, I know this sounds so rich, but you know French people always cook very rich
Lots of
flavors.
everything, that's it.
And that's why they always serve such small servings, because the food is so rich. Then I'm just going to cover it for 30 minutes in the oven.
Okay.
And then we will take it out of the oven. Then can you just get going for me there?
Okay.
All right, and so we'll leave it covered for 30 minutes, and then we'll take the cover off, and let it cook for an hour. Now, since we got to wait for a few minutes, I wanted to share something else with you.
Okay.
I always, quite often when I'm having a dinner party, as you know, I usually make a cabbage salad.
All right.
And people always ask me for my recipe, and it's so silly because it's a nothing recipe. It's just, I shredded all this cabbage last night.
Okay.
So you can use, I like to put a bit of color in it, but you can use the green cabbage, and I put a tiny bit of red cabbage, and of course onions, chopped up very finely. I like to put a few celery, yeah. So do you want to stir all that up,
I
Jim?
can do that, yes. And you'll take this, I think this is the last ingredients, if I remember my childhood.
Yes. Well, I have another recipe that I do too. It's Grandma's, your other Grandma's recipe for homemade dressing, and it is so good. So you think that's mixed up well?
I've
All
done
the
a
onions and everything else.
solid job on that, yes.
Okay.
Wow. We're not skimping on any of these things, are we?
No, well, you want it nice and moist because cabbage can be a bit dry if you don't.
Right. And you would put this in the fridge, obviously.
We do, but I'm going to put it into
Container and
fancy glass
oh,
bowl.
okay, all right.
And of course, a little bit of salt and pepper too. I'm not working out of my own kitchen, so I don't have any left here.
Okay. And that's your salad, which will go with a nice maybe piece of chicken or something, and what we have in the oven, and it'll make a nice meal for a lot of people.
Chicken or turkey or roast beef. And even when I've had dinner parties with a buffet.
Yeah, that's great. I remember those as a kid. Yep.
Yes, we had lots of those.
You had lots of parties. You certainly did.
And I had a DJ too, didn't I?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do
I'll put that on the, I'll move it a little further, sorry. There you go.
And the final step is
what?
paprika.
Oh, paprika. You can never go wrong with paprika.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's... Okay, we have this delightful side salad you've created. We've just taken out your main, or one of your main courses, out of the oven. I'll let you do the reveal.
Okay, and before I do that, that crystal bowl was your Grandma Gordon's. It has to be 80 years old.
Wow.
And you know Grandma, everything she bought was at Burke's Jewelers. So it has traveled with me back and forth across the country. It's very precious.
I think I know what I'm leaving with, actually. Okay. Okay, but you've got, this is the big reveal here, which we'll see in the high camera above. Oh my goodness, look at that. So that was in the oven for about an hour, you said?
About an hour, yeah.
And let it cool for how long?
Yeah, now lots of people do it in a rectangular bowl. You
Sure,
can do it
yeah.
in a round bowl. Whatever you have in your kitchen, you can use either or. But that's basically what it looks like, and I'm sure you'll find it tastes delicious.
Excellent. Yes,
when you,
remember.
when you sample it.
Hey, my first time working with my mom on camera. Of course, I worked together for like 20 years, but on camera, you did a great job.
My autograph?
Yes, he's already developing an ego. That's great. Anyway, great to have her on this side of the camera for once. Mom, thanks very much. This looks delicious. Crew is salivating. We'll let them dig in. We'll be back again with another edition of Pass on the Recipes. I'm Jim Gordon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.